What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters Live. I'm David Wilson. We're back again with a whole lot of chat on my face. What did I say? Is it on the screen? Okay, it is on the screen. Sorry. I'm not saying, bad things about Trev, but I am kind of saying bad things about Trev, so it is what it is. Anyway, what was I saying? Welcome to System Crafters Live. This is a weekly stream where we get together as a community and talk about whatever topic I've come up with at the very last minute, and this week is no exception. Is that how I start the streams? Because, I forget how I start the streams from stream to stream because either they're not consistent or my context is just wiped so badly through the week that I've forgotten how to live. Another Omarchi stream? Are we doing that? Is that what it's supposed to be? Did you see that somewhere? Because it's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. All right, let's see. I'm using XMPP on the other window, and I don't know if it's going to let me scroll like a human being with the scroll wheel. No, it's not going to let me scroll with the scroll wheel, so I don't know if I can see who's here. Let me see about IRC. Okay, I'm going to say who I see on the screen so far. If I miss anybody, please let me know that I missed you. So let's say hello to the people who are in the IRC side. I see Glenn, Alternate Ved, Big Edie, Nakotani, Trev, Edge Crusher, Dave, Jeff, let's see, Alejandro, Cal 2001. Let's see, I wonder if your new coworkers are watching. Probably not. Why would they watch this? It's so boring. And on the YouTube side, hello to Enrico, Edward, and Gunn. Hello to everybody. Nice to see you all. Man, I really, yeah, I know. I got to fix the notes. It's better than starting from nothing, okay? I would try to be a little bit ahead this time, but this time, I did the best I could in the time that I had available. So, yes, it is not November 7th. It's November 14th. And Alejandro says, hacking IRC within IRC without an IRC client. Not really. Not really. I don't know. We're going to see how well this goes. I don't know what's going to happen, but I thought it would be an interesting idea. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Yes, thank you again, Alternate Ved, for bringing that up. Auntie also brought it up in the IRC earlier. I want to talk about that in a sec. I don't know. Oh, somebody's got to... Okay, I'll ask this question in a moment. Let me get the notes started up. So the title of the stream is... protocol parsing. Can't type. AI does all the typing for me now, so I've forgotten how to type. Default text scale increase. Let's hit it up another notch there. That probably should be a little bit easier to see now, maybe, yeah. Internet relay chat. Hello to Christian. And this is the 14th, obviously, because it's a week from last week. And let me grab the little YouTube video link there from the other screen. Boom, there it is. Cool. So, yes, today we're going to be talking about IRC. Why? Because IRC is an interesting protocol. We'll learn a bit more about that in a little bit. I'm no expert on the IRC protocol. I just know that it's a text-based line-oriented protocol that seems to be relatively easy to parse. So we're going to see if we can learn a bit about the protocol itself, and then write a simple client for the IRC protocol in a language of our choosing. And we'll talk about that too. I don't know what we'll do. But and that's not going to be JavaScript, so don't even ask. Or Java, for God's sake. But until then, let's talk about what's going on with the news. First of all, the Autumnless Game Jam was last week. I did not submit anything. You saw me last Friday try my best to... hold on a second. That was very unprofessional. You saw me try to make a game within the span of about an hour and a half, and I think we did pretty good. I was pretty happy with the outcome, even though it wasn't really that functional yet. It looked cool. I think it would have been an interesting game to play if we had made a little bit more protocol. I saw the word protocol. If we had made a little bit more progress, but there wasn't anything to submit, so there's really no reason to submit. However, you should go check out the entries on the submissions page of the Autumn List Game Jam. I have not looked at these yet, but I do know that Alex... Let's see. Oh, Screwtape did something else with Nick Clem. Also, Menacing Mecha. Thank you, Edward. Let's see. What else? Who else? Technomancy did something here, it seems. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, it's bad luck to not say bless you to the person doing the live stream. Those are the names that I recognize so far. So, Alex Griffith. Yeah, Alex Griffith, who always makes cool games, usually with Fennel, I think, on these game jams. Definitely worth checking out what he makes, because he's also using the sort of similar tile set that I used the last time for the Lambda Dungeon, which is a pretty nice little tile set. His game seems a lot more sophisticated than mine did, though, so probably it would be cooler to play. I don't know if it has any sound, but I think I heard something. But, I mean, this is a legit game. I don't know what we're doing here. Click a critter and click again to drop them on the map. I clicked on the map and it didn't get dropped. Okay, let's go. Are we going? Try again. All right, so I don't know how to play this game, but it looks cool, though. Anyway, Bash, no. Ruby would be okay, maybe. Pearl, no. I don't think we're going to do any Pearl. No way. Mon VPET Pocket. Suffering from a crash, fixed version. Okay, got it. So this was an attempt by Menacing Mecha to make a game for the jam. Is this like a Tamagotchi type thing? What is this? Get your weekly allowance of meat from the meat farm, train stats at the gym, adventure in the field, and evolve into 9 different creatures. This is like Pokemon. Okay, got it. Big E says, I've been waiting for like a decade for another F-Sharp tutorial. You're right. It has been almost a decade. That's kind of sad. I just left all those people hanging, waiting for the next in the series of me writing a parser combinator library or something. What was that? What was I doing? AppleScript. Morgan, you're crazy. AppleScript. We're not pulling out the MacBook, all right? Let's just get off that topic. Anyway, you should check out the nice games that were submitted in the Autumn Lisp Game Jam. It's always a great event. Love it. LabView. Dave says, I love the art style of VPET Pocket. Yeah, it does look cool. Let's see. Check out the submissions for the Autumn Lisp Game Jam 2025. Boom. There you go. Also, I wanted to point out that there is a new thing by Glenneth and Fade in the community called Asteroid Radio, but I want to get it pulled up here so you can actually see it and hear it, because otherwise it's going to be very underwhelming because you won't hear anything. So give me a second. Let me see if I can pull up the other screen real quick. Video capture device. No, screen capture pipe wire. Here we are. And let me drop it down so that you can still see my ugly face. One more. Right there. Okay. So, this is Asteroid Radio, which I don't know if this has been like officially released yet. Has this been officially released or announced? But it's basically a website that's being hosted by Glenneth and Fade for providing asteroid music, as they like to call it, which is basically just like ambient music that's good for programming. If you play it, I'll play it for like 4 seconds, okay? Because I don't really want to get copyright violations. Okay, there you go. That's your little sample. There's a register. What are we registering for? Why do we need an account? Why do we need an account here? It is official. Cool. Anyway, I'm cool. I'm glad to see this, but tell me more about this because I don't see any information on the page that explains what the point of the site is other than just the fact that you can play music. Broadcasting asteroid music for hackers on the station at the end of time. Sounds cool. You can also play the... Yeah, I know you don't need an account. Obviously, you don't need an account, but what is it for? What is it for? Is it for, like, tracking the number of minutes you played it? You don't yet. You don't need an account yet. It's going to be another subscription service. So here's what I'm guessing, okay? Fade is hosting the servers, and Glenn is actually playing all the music live himself while everybody else is just listening, okay? So there's 6 listeners right now, it seems, and Glenn is typing in IRC, but also playing the guitar and singing over the backing track. So it's pretty impressive, actually. I mean, I've never really seen a service like this before. I don't know how Glenn is able to keep it up 24 hours a day, but kudos to Glenn for being able to perform live music for everyone, for all the 6 listeners all day long. Added functionality later for registered users. Well, I'll create an account, but not right now because I don't want people to steal my account. Are we going to do AI music here? All right. Let me get rid of this screen then. Glenn is actually inside Fade's server. Well, that is a possibility. I don't see why not. All right. So let me put that into the notes if I can find the right key combination to get back over here. So check out Asteroid Radio by Fade and Glenneth. Cool. That's awesome. I've always thought about making like a pirate radio station on like a shoutcast stream. Not really like a pirate radio station, like just playing whatever music, but like, you know, propaganda, you know, trying to sway the masses. I don't think I would last longer than about 5 minutes and I would run out of ideas. So it would be a very short-lived experience. Alternate Vet says, you need to pay for the subscription. You're saying that I personally need to pay for it for everyone else. Is that what you're saying? I think so. Okay. So, what else? What's going on? What's happening? Big Edie says, what should we be trying to convince the masses of? I don't know. Like, I'm done trying to convince the masses of things. Man, I really should have downloaded a couple of videos from Sora before I started the stream. I got a couple that I would like to show you that are pretty funny. I'll see if I can do that like on the fly here. Plans to become a cult leader. I mean, I've always had, you know, the idea to become a cult leader, but it's not an easy job, you know? It's not an easy job being a cult leader. Not that I would know. I mean, why would I know? But I just have the feeling, I have the impression that it would be a not very easy job. Let me see if it downloaded the same file twice here. Aren't I a main patron of Asteroid Radio? I know, am I? I wouldn't know. Okay, I'm trying to upload these files I just downloaded. And I have no idea where they went. There we go. Okay. I got a couple real good ones here. Exactly what a cult leader would say. It's not an easy job being a cult leader. Yes, it's not. You don't believe me? We need that on a t-shirt. Yes, you know, that's not a bad idea, actually. Just bear with me for a second so you can see the glorious thing that is actually quite relevant to what we're talking about right now. If I can get it to download. Download, thank you. Okay. So how am I going to do this? Stop it. Stop it. Wait a second. That's way too loud too. Let me put the screen back up. I'm sorry. I just have to do this because it's funny. Whoops. I moved the wrong thing. Professional operation, I have to say. Professional operation. All right, you ready? Ready? Okay. This is us.
It's not a cult.
What you think about that? Just in case you didn't see that, here we go.
It's not a cult.
There you go. And the next one's going to be far more terrifying. And just so you know beforehand, I'm saying the words Geeks Gang.
Geeks Gang.
That's the wonders of AI, people. That's the wonders of AI.
Geeks Gang.
It's just kind of menacing at the end. I don't know why I did it like that, but it would have been better if it actually had geeks on the diamonds. I didn't tell it to do that, so it just didn't do it. But anyway, so just so you know, there's a lot of AI slop out there, but when you make it of yourself, it can be pretty funny. So stupid though, working full time is cooking your brain. It is kind of cooking my brain. I do look creepy on these. That's what's so good about it. I look so creepy. All right, let me get out of here. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that little interlude into the things I've been creating to entertain myself on Sora. There's more things too, but I'm not going to bore you with those. Okay, so any other news? What other news? Getting Knuckle Tats to say geeks and gang? Yes, that sounds like a good idea, Elephant Ergo. Where is my screen? There we go. Glenn says it's because of David's scheme course that this thing actually happened, even though it's written in common list. But it's good that the skills transfer somewhat. It's not a cult, it's a cult. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Alejandro. Okay, so let's stop screwing around here. All right, no news, no news. Nobody has any other news. I don't have any either, so what can I say? The first one. The second one shook me to my core, yes. This is the reason why I haven't actually put that up as a video that someone could download, because I don't necessarily want that getting passed around, because it will seem a little bit too weird. People might believe it's true, because it's what these AI-generated videos do. There we go. IRC protocol. RFC. Do we want to actually look at the real RFC for this? Is there only one? There's an RFC viewer inside of Emacs. I think you have to install it, don't you? Hey, Robin. If Robin's here. Yeah, it's not a cult. Emacs has an RFC mode, right? Okay. Why is it not loading? Well, let's go to the IETF website then. Maybe that actually will give us something that works. Can I download this file? Text. I think that's better, right? 7-byte ASCII only. Are we gonna have problems with that? Yeah, we can do IRCv3 also, but I don't know. Yes, this is going to be great to read in this form. Let me actually download this file. Save page as. Sure. RFC editor, EWW. Actually, not a bad idea, Big Edie. It's not a bad idea at all. Let's do that. Fantastic idea. Fantastic idea. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's explore the IRC protocol. Now, to just read a spec would be really damn boring. I think it would be more fun to actually write a simple client implementation for the IRC protocol and hope that whatever IRC server that we decide to test this against is not going to kick me off and ban me for sending poor requests to the server. If I had been more prepared, I would have just set up my own IRC server locally to test this with, which I suppose I probably could. I don't know how hard it is to run one locally, but perhaps I should try that before I go and get myself banned from somewhere. Brand new IRC client and scheme. No, it won't be something that anybody would want to use. There are better IRC clients. This is more just a curiosity and experimentation. We're not making anything for real people here. We're just, experimenting for fun and to learn something. So, the first thing though is to decide which language we're going to use. Because there's two options in my mind, because there's only really two options that I'm more or less prepared to deal with right now, and that would be Scheme or Janet. Now, obviously, you know what Scheme is. The Janet language we have talked about a few times on the channel. In Emacs Lisp, yeah, I thought about that too, but I don't know if I want to deal with it, because Emacs Lisp is not the greatest. Where is the poll? Would you give me a second, alternate vet? Give me a second. Where's the poll? The poll. Okay, is there a good polling website? What website exists that's free and will let me create a poll right now without some BS garbage? Does anybody know? Free poll site without BS garbage. What is the best free website to conduct an online poll? Google Forms, Doodle. Doodle is terrible now. Okay, we got the answer on that one. There's got to be a damn website. Is it thepoll.com? Let's create the poll and Scheme. Let's waste the whole time. That's a very programmer thing to do. Instead of actually just finding a tool for the job, you write your own and then waste all the time. Primogen one. Which one is he using? Did he make one? Waste classification. Now, how does that have anything to do with what I just said, except for the word garbage? How does it have anything to do with it? Free poll website. Janet versus Scheme. Scheme, please. Yes, I know. Poll maker, make a poll in seconds. What I want is something that people can actually go and look at and click on right now. I think I can do that in YouTube, but then it would require everybody going to YouTube to click the poll. My polls. You see, that's the kind of BS I'm talking about. I don't want to have to click login. I just want a poll. It's just a database. It's a row in a database, okay? It's not that complicated. Why does it have to be like a sign-up form? I don't really feel like going to Google Forms either, to be honest. All right. We're going to do a real informal poll here, all right? I just want people to tell me in chat, and I'm going to do it based on vibes alone. Would you rather see me try to write this client in Scheme or Janet? Pick only one option, please. Big Edie has provided the form link. Pollmaker.com. I just gave you the poll with my mouth, alternate ved. You do it now. Barosio says Scheme. Okay, we got that one. Emo says Scheme. Morgan says Scheme. What do we say on the YouTube side? Where's the Twitch people? Glenn says Janet. Let me take Janet off the screen so I don't sway the votes just by having something on the screen. Janet Jackson. I would play some Janet Jackson. Janet. F sharp, actually. Nah, we're not doing F sharp right now. I haven't written F sharp in almost 10 years, I would say. I guess Big Edie likes F sharp. It's a cool language. I don't have a problem with it. Janet is better. I'm seeing the scales being tipped towards Janet here a little bit. Janet is a bit more interesting because I think that the built-in peg parser might be easier to use, even though Guile does have one. Useful, your name is not very useful. We're about halfway, I think almost half and half, but I think that we're kind of like tipping more towards Janet right now. So yeah, we do have Ice9 Peg in Guile. That's right, Cal. I haven't used it before. I haven't really used the one in Janet either. I did use it, but I can't say that I'm an expert by any means. But Peg seems to be the ideal thing to use for this, and we'll talk about what Peg is. Benoit says halfway in the stream. Are we? What time is it? We're only 1/4 of the way through the stream. More useful. Okay, well, at least more useful in the way that you have written it. Will not get triggered on keyword hits so much. Is it better now? You're more useful now. That's right. Okay. So today we are going to try to write a simple IRC client library in the Janet language. We'll use the built-in Peg parser to parse IRC's line-oriented text protocol. Will it be good? No. Will you want to use it? No. Will it be funny? Maybe. That's all you need to know. Coming down with a cold? Probably. Dude, I got 2 kids in school. It's like the midway through November now. It's inevitable. It's already happened a couple times already. We probably had COVID. And it just kind of went through already. So, I don't know. Next week, you may see me with a cold. Leave the typos in. I don't know, man. I don't think it's nice to leave in typos. By the way, hello, Benoit. Helvin Ergo says, I can't wait to daily drive this after it's completely done in 2 hours. It would be completely done in 2 hours if I had Claude Code write it. Because it would be pretty easy, I think. I don't know about the TLS part, though. Documentation. Let's see. TLS, SSL. There's probably not a library for that for Janet. And I'm going to have to like basically relearn Janet somewhat while we do this. That's going to be fun. GTK client. No, we're not doing that. All right. So let me see what we got for the Janet side of things. I'm going to go into a shell and make dir Janet IRC, cd Janet IRC. All right. Now, don't do TLS, is painful and beside the point. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to have to deal with that. And luckily, you don't really have to. I'm pretty sure that a lot of servers will let you not use TLS connections, at least in Guile. All right, so simple IRC server, mini IRCD. Let's see if that's in Geeks. Maybe I want to run a simple IRC server so that we don't screw things up here. If the Geeks REPL will load. Rev says, I can't believe you ignore the de facto IRC spec site. We have to look at RFC. Because it's the RFC for IRC. The other one is like the IRC v3 stuff, isn't it? Is the IRC horse site general, or is it only IRC v3? I know IRC v3 builds on top of IRC, but... Write a Marvin 3 bot. Come on, Geeks REPL. What's taking so long? IRC horse. What was the link again? IRC.horse. IRC horse. What is going on with my internet? I think something is going on here with starting the Geeks REPL and it's slowing my computer down and nothing resolves anymore. Did my DNS go out? All right, screw that. Wow. Whatever that was going on there, starting the Geeks REPL had hosed everything. Table of contents. Living specification. I mean, sure, we could do this. Maybe I can pull this up in EWW also. Up, up, up. All right, so EWW should be loadable in here. Okay. Let's text scale increase in this. It's not actually increasing. Great. Did I spawn an IRC? Oh, you spawned an IRC server. Okay, got it. Read a Marvin 3 bot to kick Marvin 2 out. Wow, okay, so I think that... that's strange. Anywho... Okay. Anyway, so back to the original question. Mini IRCD. Let's do a little geek search. Okay, NG IRCD. Lightweight IRC server for small or private networks. Okay, so NG IRCD. Can I just run it without any configuration? Adjusting configuration with the config file. The IRC server can be ready for use after just 5 minutes. Client only. Client only. We're not going to write a server. I think that would be a lot harder. Documentation. Installation. Quick start. There's a sample file. Can I change the config directory because it's not going to get put into the etc. folder? Sure. How about this? Let's see what happens. Maybe my face configuration is not making it work right, Big Edie. It finished? That didn't seem right, did it? NG IRCD. Did it get started in the background? Huh. Is it demonized on its own? That can't be right, can it? I don't have telnet, huh? Is there a telnet? Probably not a good idea to try to telnet. Should I just use like NC or something? How can I tell if that port is open? D stands for demon, sure, but I would think that it would run in the foreground whenever you just run it bare on the command line and not demonize itself immediately, right? Seems like it should let the service manager or the daemon manager manage its lifecycle. I agree with Trev. We need AI because no one remembers NC flags. Well, you don't see me opening it up right now, buddy. Hello to No Namer. You spawn it, it exits, and it provides free communication for everyone forever without a process, and it doesn't use any compute. Yes, that sounds like a pretty amazing technology, honestly. Ergo IRC before. Yeah. Thanks, Erky. That one also is a IRC-v3 server too. About the server. Can you just show me the details? Admin manual. What do I do? Can I just run it? For God's sake. Pkill. Why is this here? All right, so Geek's Shell. I think that's right? I know it's in here. I've seen it before. Oh, hell no. All right, we need an actual terminal here. Let me do a little bit better job filtering. Ergo docs, of course, is what I want. Is it really not in here? I swear I saw Ergo IRCD in here. Geek search elephant ergo. Okay. It's not in here. LIRC Inspire CD. LIRC. No, that's the other thing. All right, so Inspire CD. Run it. We're going to end up spending the entire time trying to run an IRC server. Corey says, is this the #1 Lisp influencer channel? I don't know. Is it? Probably not. That would be real sad if it is, because I don't do anything. Hey, Boo. Nice to see you. Can I open config file? Can I tell you to open it from somewhere else? Are there other Lisp influencer channels? There have been. Sort of. And usually they all just kind of like go defunct after a while because they don't get any views. The only reason this channel got views is because of Emacs. Yeah, Gavin is cool. Is he making videos? I actually tried to look him up today, and I think I didn't make it all the way to the page. Yeah, haven't seen him in a while either. Trev has an opinion. Other channels have not stated that they are not a cult. Yeah, I think that's the key, right? It's like you have to just go right up front and say that it's not a cult so that people take it seriously. Sounds like Lisp. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? More useful. Sounds like Lisp. The fact that people don't really care too much about it. Okay, let's get the brain back together here. We're trying to run an IRC server. You know what? I'm just going to throw caution in the wind and use LibreChat, because why not? Why not? Why not just get myself in trouble for trying to write a bespoke IRC client and just completely trash their server? I don't think I'll do that. Maybe not. You are not in a cult, am I? I am not in a cult. I just started one. We are not in a cult. Yes, we're not in a cult. I mean, how do you actually define cult? I mean, come on. It's just such like a wide range of interpretations of what that word means. So back to the shell, Geek Shell. Do I need both Janet and JPM? Or just JPM? What's in here? Once again, we got Janet 139. What Janet are we on now? Can you click? Thank you. Okay. Okay, 139. Good. All right. 139.1. And we also have JPM, quite sure. I think Omar set that up. Didn't Omar set that up? Where is Omar? Once again, I'm being quoted as saying it's not an easy job being a cult leader. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I know. Alternate Vet says, I usually use this script to install Janet locally with everything. Well, the problem, though, is that this is Geeks, Alternate Ved. And when you're in the Geeks gang, you can't use the scripts that the rest of the world uses to install things because it just doesn't work. So I'm going to use the packaged version of Janet here for the purpose of this project. which I loosely use the term project because it's not really a project. Manifest.scm. Let's see if I can write a manifest file completely cold. Specifications to manifest. Wait a second. I swear to God, I'm not asking AI on the other screen how to do this. Janet, JPM. I don't know if I need a compiler as well. So geek shell -m manifest.scm Janet. What the hell? Get out of here. Okay, let's try it this way instead. Compile. Linux Libre headers. It's not impossible to install it there, no. I mean, we can obviously build it. Okay, so the Janet compiler did run. We're all good on that. All right, so now we got to remember how to write Janet code. This is great. And do I have Janet mode? I don't have Janet mode installed. Geek sounds like a pain. Why would you use it? That's a great question. Why would I use something like this? Do I have it in my configuration? .files, emacs.org, Janet. Nope. Let's see, ELPA. Is it in ELPA? Probably not, right? So let's see. Janet, no. Non-GNU ELPA. Probably only going to be in Melpa, right? So every time I click on something, it waits. No. All right, so it's got to be on Melpa. And of course, I don't have Melpa installed. How am I going to get this in here? Crafters Usher Elite Tech. Yes, that's a good way to say cult. Janet, yeah, I know. I can install them. Boo says, I'm finally starting to use MetaX Compile. Yeah, Compile is good. I mean, it's very simple, but it is useful for a thing that you end up having to do over and over in the shell, which is start your compilation process and then run the program. And you can do that a lot faster in Compile. I hate pulling Melpa in. I got nothing against Melpa in general, but I just try to keep things strictly to the ELPAs. Melpa.org. What time is it? We're not going to write a client in an hour and 10 minutes. Getting started. There we go. We're just going to do this real quick because who cares? I'm going to eval this code. Paste it. Now, package, refresh contents. Oh, you're probably right, Morgan. That's true. All right, now package install. Janet mode. How about that? Emacs technology. And I've also forgotten, what is the file extension for Janet code? Alternate ved. What is the file extension for Janet code? I've already forgotten. Am I going to find it before you? .janet. Okay. Stream delay works in my favor. Main.janet. Janet. Oh, it's in Janet mode already. Cool. So we don't have a REPL for this, or at least not a slick REPL integration. So we're just going to be running it repeatedly. Print. Is that the thing? Print. Hello, crafters. Can I type slash, please? Thank you. All right, there we go. Now, MetaX compile. Same thing here. Janet main.janet. There it is. Hello, crafter. Great. Did a real great job there. Okay. All right, we're done, right? Is that enough? Is that enough to say that we wrote some code in the stream? Because I've forgotten how to write code now that I've been using AI so much. At least that's what Trev says. Trev thinks that because I've been using AI at my job that now I don't know how to write code anymore. No Namer says the benefits of Geek so that you can do all the things you would do in a normal distribution, just in a much more complicated way. Exactly. Because the reason why the people are watching this channel is because using a computer the way that everybody else uses it is too boring. Okay, it's too boring. So you got to do stuff the hard way to make it less boring. Because if you're not getting a headache from using your computer every day, then you're doing it wrong. Okay. This is what it means to be part of the Geeks gang. You got to make your head hurt and to cry every time you have to install a new piece of software, because otherwise, what's the point? There's no meaning to life. Now, Katani says, I don't have a job or use AI that much, and I still don't know how to write code. Well, I don't either. Redacta says, how can he tell you haven't gotten to the writing code yet? He's making assumptions. I don't know. I think I can still write code. We're going to find out. There's no meaning to life. Well, okay. Let's not get all nihilistic here or anything. Let's build a masochism mode. Isn't that just what we're already doing? All right, so let's get into it. First of all, the simplest thing that we could possibly do to facilitate this process is to try to create a socket. But it's probably not the first thing I should do. I should probably try to figure out what the common... Can this thing give me some example lines of the format so we can just try to parse it? Alternate Vet says, how are you with Tree Sitter? I haven't really used it that much in Emacs, and I kind of avoid it because of that. Tree Sitter is great though, in general. Examples. Who message? Examples. Nice. Okay. There are examples all the way through this thing. That's good, I think. Let's just go to the top. I think the best way to do this would be to write a test suite, but that would be really damn boring, I think. Better to just do it live. Why am I not looking at this in EWW? Okay, the simple basic stuff. The architecture. We started the architecture here because you got to know how an IRC network works. Servers form the backbone of IRC, providing a point to which clients may connect and talk to each other, and a point for other servers to connect to, forming an IRC network. Sort of like Federation in a way, but not really, because it's all the same network. Most common network configuration for IRC servers is that of a spanning tree where each server acts as a central node for the rest of the network it sees. Other topologies are being experimented with, but right now there are none widely used in production. That sounds complicated. Several terms created over time to describe the roles of different servers on the IRC network. Sure, whatever, don't care. Trend these days is to hide the real structure of the network from regular users. Well, that's probably a good idea. We don't care too much about that. A client is anything connected to a server that is not another server. Can you read this? Probably you don't want to read this. Each client is distinguished from other clients by a unique nickname. In addition to the nickname, all servers must have the following information about all clients. Okay? Nicknames are non-empty strings with the following restrictions. Must not contain space, comma, star, question mark, exclamation point, or at, probably because those are being used as core parts of the protocol. Must not start with any of the following characters, dollar or colon, sure. Must not start with a character listed as a channel type, blah, blah, blah. Should not contain any dot characters. Servers may have additional implementation-specific nickname restrictions. Okay, fine. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. More blah, blah, blah. Give me the format. In IRC, the channel has a role equivalent to that of the multicast group. Their existence is dynamic, and the actual conversation carried out on a channel is generally sent only to servers which are supporting users on a given channel. Client to server protocol structure. There we go. While a client is connected to a server, they send a stream of bytes to each other. The stream contains messages separated by carriage returns and line feeds, so CRLF. These messages may be sent at any time from either side and may generate 0 or more reply messages. Software should use the UTF-8 character encoding to encode and decode messages with fallbacks described as blah, blah, blah. Names of IRC entities are case mapped. This prevents, for example, someone having the name capital D Dan and someone having the nickname lowercase Dan, confusing other users. So you basically have to make sure that the comparison of names is case insensitive. Okay. Message format. An IRC message is a single line delimited by a pair of CRLF characters. When reading messages from stream, read the incoming data into a buffer. Only parse and process a message once you encounter the CRLF at the end of it. If you encounter an empty message, silently ignore it. Okay, so now we're getting to the good stuff. The stuff that actually is useful. That tells me how to do this thing. Give me a second. Ashra says, is this a stream that will make S-copy superfluous? No. You're still on the hook, Ashraz. Where is my cursor? There it is. Okay, good. So now, let's go over to main. First of all, ignore... What is the comment syntax? There it is, hash. Ignore empty lines. Parse everything up to CRLF and then read as a message. Cool, no problem. When sending messages, ensure that a pair of CRLF characters follows every single message your software sends out. Send. End each message with... They're giving us a full... Oh, this is just the basic parsing. Okay, so message at tags space. Great. We have like the whole EBNF form. So that actually makes things a bit easier to map over to a peg. But then you parse it and you still have to know what to do with it. All right. So back to Janet. We got to remember how to write Janet code. There's a book called Janet for Mere Mortals. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Janet for Mortals. Pegular expressions. This is what we want. So, hold on. Okay. Peg compile. Do we have to import a module for this? We're going to end up regretting using Janet because I don't remember anything. Trying to think the best way to accomplish this. If I were to actually use Telnet to go to an IRC server, will I get output from there? Or Netcat? Using Netcat with an IRC channel? NC server port. Let's just try that, NC. All right, so NC, look at that. No ident response, probably because I haven't written a client that responds to anything. I don't know how that works though. It's good as a like a general let's just check this out. All right. So kind of want to just try to parse these as an example. So this is a notice. And I wonder in the protocol about notices. Notice parameters, target, text to be sent. Star. Star must just mean whatever. And then colon, and then text to be sent. Send notices between users as well as send notices to channels. Target is interpreted the same way. All right. So we got some strings here. And we can try to make a little peg parser to see if we can do some basic parsing. I don't know. We're going to give it a real shot here. I don't think it's going to go very well, but whatever. So peg compile, HTML peg. I'm just going to steal this. We're going to make this IRC peg. I got a feeling it's not going to actually work because we're probably going to pull in, what's it called? Spork. All right, unknown symbol, element to struct. Element to struct. Okay, there's a function in here, element to struct, that is being used in this code. Whoops. Okay, there you go. So they're showing how you can use a function to define another part of the peg. All right, so element. I don't know what the unref is for there. So nodes, any element text. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff just so that we can focus on what we've got. Whoops. Any plus element text. And what does plus do in this case? Like plus, that's not an addition, that's choice. How does it work? Okay, one of each. So for a message, let's just try to do this the sane way, okay? Because I think this is not going to be very sane to start with. Sure, it would be easier to just split the line and try to just read things manually, but I kind of wanted to try this first. If it doesn't work very well, then we'll do something else. Okay, so message. Sum in a. Strings match literally. There are no special characters to escape. Sum means one or more. What if I want an actual exact character like that? Sequence. Star matches all of its arguments in order. Star is an alias for sequence. Okay, here we go. So, why did that show up? All right, so then we got to have something in the middle here. One means one byte, any means 0 or more. How about that? Okay, so we got IRC peg. And how do we run this thing then? I think I saw a peg match. Peg match HTML peg input. All right, so peg slash match. Mismatch delimiter, open at line 14. I think I missed closing that parenthesis. All right. Grammar requires main rule. All right, so let's do a main. And what did it say here? Main star nodes. Can I just say message? Colon. Okay, what does it give me back? Because it didn't seem to match anything. I'm not getting any information here. Maybe that's wrong. Some? Strings match literally. But I just do this. Is that gonna work? Didn't complain. But also didn't do anything. So any one, I think that this needs to be more than that. Match one byte, any means 0 or more. Yeah, Ultravet makes a good point. So I guess hash for comments makes sense if you want to use it like a scripting language. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, is this a stupid idea? Are we going to make any progress at all if I'm just going to be doing it like this with the peg parsing? Because we're basically just having to learn how to write a peg grammar right now. And that's going to take more time than writing a stupid parser for the protocol. What do we think? It's possible that we could figure it out, but any if not greater 1. Do the poll. We already did the poll. String split. Yeah, I know, right? That would be a lot easier. Hey, Forest Hobo. All right, I think I'm going to give up on that for now because it's going to be too much of a pain in the ass. It'll be easier just to use normal string splitting and logic. Regex split. There is a regex library. Okay. Strings, keywords and symbols. Split, splitting strings, splits, string split. Okay, great. So, first of all, how about this? Where are tuples and arrays? Okay, array and tuple. Tuple, 1, 2, 3. What is the syntax? An at. Okay, a tuple is immutable and an array is mutable. I don't really care whether or not, because this is just a... What was the thumb down for, Benoit? Where is the at? There it is. Yeah, one is mutable, the other's not. Syntax. There it is. Actually, let's take this one too. I just want to try to make it so I can parse a few messages, all right? There we go. Yeah, skipping the rabbit hole. Yeah, it's just too it's going to take too long. It would be cool to do it, but I don't think we're going to be able to make any progress. At is mutable. So what is it? Without the at? Does that work, or does it have to be square bracket? I don't think that's valid syntax, is it? Yeah, that's a call syntax. Is it square bracket? There we go. Square bracket. Tuple. Okay. So, test messages. Now, I actually want to join these. I want to string join them because I want to parse a stream. Okay? So, is there a join? String join. There we go. And we got the list first. And then the delimiter, I'm guessing. Array of tuple strings and joins them together. It can also take an optional separator string, which is inserted between items in the array. So I want to put in a slash. Where is it? /r/n. There it is. Okay. Real Lisps. This is a Lisp. Different syntax for lists and function calls. Heresy. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. It's an interesting language. It's worth looking at. We could easily do this in Scheme, but why do it the easy way? Why do it the easy way? Okay, so now we can write a function, def read message. Is it defn? What's the syntax for defn? Defn. Here we go. We're going to relearn this language while we're sitting here. Defn, triangle area. Okay. Read a message. Now, we need it from like a stream. I think there's something like a port. IO. Utilize this style. File open, fiber new, and OS execute. Oh, there it is, right there. File. File open. What's it return? Come on, there's got to be some kind of like stream. No, not the same thing. I feel like I've seen this before. Is it an EV? Write data to a stream, suspending the current fiber until the write completes. It takes an optional timeout. All right, so there's no examples. Where is the Janet book? Yeah, building peg parsers from the bottom up in a test-driven manner, Peter, does make sense. I'm looking for a way to treat a file or a string like a stream. Because I feel like there's some way to do that. Jenna has too many oddities. Yeah, well, it isn't as obvious. Maybe looking at sockets would actually help here. So net connect. Stream. Write. Okay, so it's like a method here. We're calling write on the connection. Wrote to connection. I'm actually curious to see what happens if we do this. I'm putting junk here just to close it off. All right, so connected to. And we're not going to write to the connection. We're going to read from the connection. Whoops. I mean, sure. How about that? 1024. We'll probably sit there and wait for a little bit for it to actually read that much. So I don't know if I just want to put like 48. I don't know. Did it do it? Connected to core stream, Tantalum, Libra chat, notice. Cool. So it did actually connect. Now, there we go. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna read, and we're gonna pass that straight into the handler, which is not entirely correct, but it did do what I expected it to. That's cool. All right. Stream sockets, server, UDP, server, DNS. All non-blocking operations in the net module. Avoid blocking by yielding to the event loop. Okay. Benoit says, that's what a cult is. A small group of people sharing beliefs that others find weird or strange. That's a pretty good way to put it. The net module does not provide any protocol abstractions over sockets. It means no TLS or HTTP out of the box. Such protocols need to be provided in third-party libraries. Fine. So in net, where does it talk about the methods? There's write and read. Read up to n bytes from a stream, suspending the current fiber until they're available. And can also be the keyword all to read into the buffer until the end of stream. If less than n bytes are available, then push those bytes. Will push if less than n bytes are available. It will push those bytes and return early. Takes an optional timeout in seconds, which will raise an error. Okay. So there's no way to read a string. I would have to write my own string reading function, basically. Which sounds like a pain in the ass. Is there a way to read MISC? Good Lord. Oh, get line. Reads a line of input into a buffer, including the new line character using a prompt. Okay, not what we're looking for. REPL. What time is it? String. Reverse. Product. Parse all. Return a string. Parse a string, return the first value. Okay, that must be for the actual language itself. Okay. Buffer. Maybe in a buffer. Push string. Buffers are immutable versions of strings. Okay, got it. Got it, like string builder type things. File lines. Return an iterator over the lines of a file. It would be nice to see the source code of that. Because I don't like writing code. I want to copy and paste it. File read, file line. Okay. So in the file module, but the file read function, read a number of bytes from file F into a buffer. Buffer buff can be provided as an optional third argument. What can either be an integer or keyword line. Read up to and including the next new line character. What if I don't want it? And why isn't there something like that for a stream itself? Maybe I should look at the source. Good Lord. Okay, that's a C function. Great. That's not helpful. Thanks, Elephant Ergo. If we were using Collide Code, we'd be done already. Hey, Luis. What else we got? UTF-8? Yeah, I'm just getting started. Because why would I start anything on time without talking for a long time first and showing a bunch of weird videos? Message. Send and receive messages over a network stream. How about that? What is this? Used for building more complicated application level protocols on top of TCP. How does it work? Create both the send and receive function from a stream as with make send and make receive. What? Get a function that when invoked gets the next messages from a readable stream. How do you define what a message is? Is this just a line-oriented protocol thing? What is this? Yeah, this is not like we're just looking at the IRC protocol because it's simple, not because we're going back to IRC or something. I'm still using XMPP whenever my server works. Oh, here it is. Message protocol, byte 0123 in bytes. Messages are a 4-byte, oh, okay, this is specific. 4-byte little Indian unsigned message prefix denoting length, followed by a payload of linked bytes. All right, so that's not what we want. Yeah, it reads 4 bytes, and then it reads that many bytes from the stream. Not the same. But probably we need a buffer. Okay, so clearly this is what we need. We need a buffer. We need to read some number of bytes from the stream. See if we find a carriage return new line in it. And if we do, we consume the buffer up until that line and then pass as a message. Okay? That seems like fun. So how about this? I need to look for concurrency and coroutines. I don't really need to create a fiber, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so is there like a do loop that just does looping forever? While true, there we go. Good enough. While true. Also, we need a buffer in here. And inside of the with is the with. Let's see. That's going to be in the core API, I think. With. Evaluate body with some resource would be automatically cleaned up. Okay, fine. Let's use a let. I don't know why it's not doing the indentation correctly. Let. What do lets look like in Janet? LM. Let. Let. Bindings body. Okay. There we go. Dude, sweet. Oh, God. It's a freaking Dude, Where's My Car reference. I bet Trev remembers that movie. All right. So it's a much simpler than scheme. Let buff. And then we're going to go into also probably need to let that before. Let's do that right here. Buffer module, buffer bit, buffer clear. How do I make one? How does one make a buffer? Buffer clear, buffer format, from bytes, buffer new. Okay. See Ashraz. Someone has written an IRC client. I don't want to look at someone else's though. I'll say 1024. Because why not? I can already see how this is going to get me into trouble, but that's fine. All right. Not now, but later. Yes, later whenever we want to cry and wonder what we've been doing with our lives. Okay, so with connection, and then inside of this with, I actually need another let for a message, which we will get by doing read. And since it's 1024, I can say 256. I don't know. I just kind of want to read some stuff a little bit. Copy and paste it. I don't want to copy and paste this part because it would kind of defeat the purpose of the exercise, which is to make ourselves cry. All right, let message read connection 256. It gets into message. Then at this point, we need to split message on CRLF, probably. Yeah, we want to split message on CRLF if there's more than one part. Construct message. Yeah, peg is nice whenever you know what you're doing and you can write it correctly because it's basically a recursive parsing grammar. And it does a lot better than what I'm about to do. Oh, and this needs to be right there. Okay. And the while also needs to be right here. Can I do something a little bit more compact? Maybe not. Okay. So we're getting the message. Can I do a recursive binding? Can you do that in Janet? I'm guessing you probably can. Parts. We're about to find out. All right, so what do I hope to achieve by this? Also, I don't want to use string split because there may be multiple new lines in what we just read in. So I think I want to try to take things a piece at a time. Let's look at the string library. I probably should just keep that up so I can see it at any given moment. String, there we go. That's the one I want. Index. Find, string find. Searches for the first instance of pattern, pat, and string string. Okay, so string find. All right, so pattern string. We're gonna have to replace these positions. Start index. Start index is gonna be 0. But we're still gonna have to loop through the string and deal with any future new lines. This is really like hacky. I'm now being faced with the stupidity of the idea. Oh, there's a net readline. Thank you, Benoit. Where's Spork mentioned? Spork net. Spork net? Does it have a net? Sport. Sport. Spork. Did they roll it in somewhere? Or is this, is it in the REPL, net REPL? So is it really in there? There's in core API. No, it's not there. I don't see it in the docs here. Where did you see it, Benoit? So back in, where was the spork? Boot Janet. Gotta sign in. Fine, whatever. Is it actually in C code? Not get line. Get line is more like read line, isn't it? All right. Alejandro says, I have the impression that Guile scheme has better documentation or more modules to check upon. Maybe, maybe. I mean, we probably would have made more progress because I would know how to write this in Scheme a bit better. Yeah, get line is for the console. That's right. What time is it? Yeah, we don't have time to do this again in Scheme. How would I do this if I was doing it in Scheme? I think I could use a read line. I mean, God damn it. Am I going to really start doing this in Scheme right now? I mean, I didn't make any progress here, so. Main.scm. Because I know Guile a lot better. Janet's cool. But also, right now, I think we're kind of tilting at windmills. Is that the right expression? Define test messages. String join. String constructors. Join. String join. List delimiter. Okay. And is delimiter a character? Scheme speed run. Let's see what we can do in 20 minutes. String. Okay, good. So. Stream lines. Oh, really? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how fast things end up being doing it this way. Actually, I don't need this part, do I? And also, Guile socket. Come on, network socket examples. Socket PF iNet sock stream connect iNet PTON. How do I set what the port is? Oh, 80 is the port. Okay. Is that it? Is it the stream API from Spork? I thought I looked at that. Stream lines. Oh, hell. A fiber that yields each line from a core stream value. Boom. All right. Let's keep moving with Janet for now, because that is basically what we needed. Hey, Osloy. Alternate Vet says, Guile suck it. Come on now, let's be nice. All right, so actually this makes our job way easier. I don't have to loop anymore. I just consume the values that come out of the fiber that's yielding lines here. Now I have to remember how to do that. Next, actually resumes and advances to the first call to yield. In generator 0, next generator 0. So do I call next? Gives you the way to iterate over the keys in a structure. Next. Next O. Oh, you have to actually give it the cursor. I don't want to do that. I want a loop. Maybe if I do each message over lines. Benoit says, oh no, what have you done, Peter? Yes, what has he done? The default is /n, okay, so lines stream. And then the delimiter is /r/n. Let's just go steal it right there. This is so pointless. I said we don't need the buffer anymore. Don't pay attention to that, I think. Oh, really? Did that actually do something? Unknown symbol streamlines. What? Messages. Ah, right. Okay, got it. Get rid of that. Okay, so unknown symbol stream / lines. I need to pull in spork. And where is that? You can check the status with fiber status and get the next result with resume fiber. Sure, I don't really need to, probably. Once again, I'm going to search for the same thing on Google. So, installation Janet install dot. The normal Janet binary can install Spork in the following way. We'll install all Spork modules to Janet path. Does it come with it? Wait, okay, hold on. Which Janet? Janet, which Janet? I need to relink that one. Come on. That's not gonna work, is it? Damn it. Subshell, it won't find the right thing. Actually, let's do it the other way. How about that? Fine. You have to be weird to be a cult. Is this weird? Well, yeah, all of this is weird and pointless. Janet. There we go. Lib. Janet. No. No. Share. No. Include. No. I don't really see Spork in here. What does this do? Unable to infer bundle name. What bundle? Are you talking about? I'm sorry? I'm confused. I'm quite confused. Let's just use JPM. Yeah. CLI option help. There is no help. If you want help, get out of here. Local. Yes. But how do I add that in when I'm running the Janet? Oh boy. This is where things get dicey. Install Spork. All right, there's a JPM tree here. Bin lib man. Okay, there's Spork. And there's stream. Okay, good. All right. So, how do I get that JPM tree to be loaded into Janet? Dash L. Use a module before processing more arguments. What does that mean? Help. Okay. And in the Spork repo, we still have that up somewhere? Right there. Bundle install dot. Wait, what? Access denied. So, local. Where's the docs? Where are the docs? I guess it has to be in the documentation, right? JPM. Local install. JPM tree install. Does Janet pick up on that? God damn it, dude. Let's go back to compilation buffer. Unknown symbol stream lines. All right. So we're back to 10 minutes left and you're trying to go back to scheme? Is that what we're doing? Cal is coming up with the cult outfits now. I think that you will be our costume designer, Cal. Sounds pretty menacing. Menacing attire. Polyphonic spree uniforms with larger shoulders. I'm just looking for something to distract myself, Benoit, because I'm dying in agony here with the problems that I'm facing. And just, wondering why I decided to do this topic instead of just talking about some boring Emacs package stuff. So, are we going to get Spork in here? Because Geeks won't let us do it the way that Spork wants us to do it. That Janet wants us to do it. Because you can't install it inside of the freaking lib folder. Because it's read-only. Dolce says, off topic, but have you looked into Fructure? It's a visual interaction engine for Racket. I have not. Ahead of what, Arno? Install Arch? No way, man. That's not making things any better. Yeah, exactly. There is a load path, but there's a Janet tree. And if I set that Janet tree, I think it's going to screw things up. Let me see. What did it say? Where was that? Janet tree. Can I set an environment variable, please? Of course not. Let me go into a shell. Geek shell Janet. Like an actual geek shell, okay? Come on, PWD. Janet. Main.janet. Unknown symbol still. It just doesn't pick it up. You can use custom JPM trees. If I could run it with JPM. We would have made a lot more progress with Scheme. I'll just say that. Just out of curiosity. I mean, look at this. They've already given us the damn implementation. Look at that. Let's go into our Scheme file. Okay, so we want. Will this do a DNS lookup or will it not? We're about to find out. Okay, so we're not going to write HTTP stuff here. But we are going to do reading in lines. Line, read, line. I don't know about the do syntax, though. Is it supposed to be like that? Maybe? Display line. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Compile. Guile, main.sem. inet Python, bad address. How do I get it to look up the address? Make socket address. Up, networking. Network address conversion. Numeric and string. It's not because of geeks. Not all because of geeks. How do we get... network databases. Okay, so get address info. Maps host and service names to socket addresses and associated information in a protocol independent way. So, oh, we got to do all that? Okay. Yeah, well, okay. The spork thing is sort of because of geeks. Inparen says, I found out the geeks had to disable the WebSocket plugin for OBS. Why? Let's do this. I'm going to drop this little snippet in. Because that's what I like to do, copy paste code. I'm going to also comment that out for a moment. Okay, so we got the AI, which is not the AI you're thinking of. I don't know why we're talking about HTTP here, but I'll let it be. Now, family, sock type, protocol, address info. Connect S. Let's try that. We're going to just drop that right here. Fill the rest of that. Unbound variable AI. Did I screw up the let binding somewhere? No. Line. Oh, this is not a let star. No wonder. Okay. Fine. I promise I know how to write scheme code. Now the question is, where are we in the process? Are we still resolving the address and this is why we're waiting? I should probably write out the address information. So, is it format? Address. Get out of here. Hey. This keyboard kind of drives me nuts sometimes because the tilde key is in a different spot. So forget about that sometimes. Okay. 2-minute warning. Thank you, Osloy. Oh, I should have just pressed... Okay, that's probably an address. Now we're trying to connect to the address. I don't know if it ever got connected. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's connecting, does it? Great stream. Great stream. Great success. We actually connected to an IRC server and read a stream of characters and didn't actually process anything. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see, Cal. I don't think it is. I don't know that it's that smart. See you, Minas Mazar. Yeah, I didn't think it was that smart. Oh, man. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Okay, so, be prepared. If you plan to do something, be prepared. That's all I can really say. Great achievement for the glorious Republic of System Craftistan. Trev says, wow, Janet looks just like Scheme. Yeah, we tried to do Scheme, and I would say this is a lot uglier for what we have to do to connect to a server than what we were doing in Janet. Can we just put both of them together? Discord after stream where we can roast him? No, I don't really think I need that. I'm already feeling bad enough. I'm gonna go drink my troubles away, and eat a whole lot of pasta to make myself feel better after that horrible failure. But I think that's kind of what happens here, is that every stream is a horrible failure, and it's just the journey that we go on together to see whether I will inevitably come to the same conclusion as every other stream, which is I should be more prepared. All right, so because Peter had found the IRC client code that someone else wrote, is it here somewhere? I like how my channel shows up for searches on Janet. Janet IRC client. So I think Peter found this, and alternate vets are reminding me of it again. Let's see what an actual well-written library looks like. This is pretty damn small. So connect, host, port, channels, nickname, blah, 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 with stream, net connect. All right, wait, hold on. Let me, because this is a single file, okay? I'm going to drop this straight up in the editor so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to put it down here because my code is crap. So with stream, we were doing that. Net connect, host, port, write user, write nick. What does write user do? Write stream, string format. Okay, fine. That's pretty simple. No problem. But let's look at the peg parser that they put together. All right, so CRLF is represented as a sequence of /r/n. That makes sense. Tags prefix from command main. Any number of tags, perhaps delimited by a space, any number of sources, and then the command itself, any number of spaces, any number of parameters, and then CRLF. That's pretty clean looking to me. I don't know that we would have made it there though. Now inside of that, you got things like command and tags, etc. Command would be a constant of command. I don't know if that makes any sense. As source, where's source being pulled in? Okay, source, got it. And then colon command. Anyway, that's a pretty compact peg parsing grammar for IRC messages. It seems to be enough that you could read all the important parts of a message and then deal with the implementation of the protocol. Okay, looks good to me. So thank you, Peter, for finding that so that we actually had a chance to look at what the right code might be. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can go look at actual Janet code that is written correctly and not just bumbled around the way that I do it at the beginning of the stream. So just to make a point here, okay, just to make a point, give me 1 second. while I find that again. Just to make a point, I'll have to say one last time.
It's not a cult.
Yes, it's not a cult because it's too terrible to be a cult. It's too disorganized to be a cult, okay? It's only a gang.
Geeks gang.
I don't think Benoit saw that at the beginning. Sorry, that's horrifying. Anyway, that's it. Sorry for the disappointment. And once again, we have the quote coming up. It's not an easy job being a cult leader. Well, I'm not really a good one, am I? Okay. Thank you all for being here today. Really appreciate your time and attention. Maybe next week I'll think of something that's better to do instead of just scratching my head and complaining the whole time. That will be in the show notes. The videos, I don't know. I don't know if I want those. I don't want those floating around the internet, but they're gonna be there anyway. So whatever. Anyway, have a nice weekend. Hope I'll see you all back here next week. And until then, happy hacking. See ya.